So it might be something like Mirror.
That would be interesting. I know I did commentary on a match earlier today, and Kakariko Well was actually, they didn't end up having to do it, but the well ended up being the Ega starter kit, had lamp and 2 swords.
And the moon is crashing, run for your lives. Little Majora's Mask joke as we get with his first chest just has big 20.
I think Uncle has the wrong Zelda game. Not even on the right timeline, Uncle. Get it together.
Well, in the best timeline, we're going to be doing our practice princess saving mission here. Nothing really to speak about. Everyone here knows exactly what they're going to be doing. Just going to be mostly movement optimization and a little bit of RNG for drops.
Yeah, and we'll see, depending on what weapon they get as well, because something like the Cane of Burn, it's really hard to actually farm, but we have a hammer.
We got hammer time.
All right, so you can kill whatever you want then.
Is the hammer sword, or the hammer matching a tempered sword in terms of how much damage you can do. And oh my goodness. So apparently this is going to be very much a speed run.
Well, this turned into a race really quickly then.
Yes, it did. And we also have our first bonk of the match at 1:09.
It will be interesting to actually see bonk counters with having boots at sub 1 minute.
If neither of these runners is above, if neither of them get to 30 bonks, someone is asleep at the switch.
So it'll be interesting because it's like I've never seen boots this early. It'd be interesting to see if they remember about bonk rocks as they get up there.
Also, something to note, Dustsen picked up an 8-pack of bombs on his way into Hyrule Castle, so he's more than set.
Yeah, that helps because getting the 1 bomb drop is nice because you can at least get the chests in the back of the sewers, but 8 bombs takes you all the way through Kakariko and then some.
Oh yeah, at that point, that's enough to get through Ice Cave, or Ice Rod Cave, and still have some left over for after you do whatever you plan to do from there, be it a Fake Flipper, checking Eastern. Fantallis does get his bomb drop, so he won't have to worry about the sewers.
Yep, probably wants to see a few more bombs at this point, but he's got at least his 1. Oh, that's right, bombs don't matter, I forgot. They have boots.
Right, that is one of the walls that you can just bonk open.
Okay, in our defense, how often do you see boots at 1 minute?
And Fantallis knowing exactly where to stand to be out of the hammer ball, the hammer spike guy's range.
I believe if I remember off his bio, he has done a little bit of NMG vanilla runs, so he's probably fairly practiced with ball and chain guard.
Malacris, my research and applied statistics is basically limited to tablet and medallion math. Don't expect anything more out of me.
I'll get back to you when I have more time to do some math. I need to do more research. Right now we're in the middle of the race though, so I don't have time for that. We'll get back to it.
We ain't got time for that, as our runners are just very near sync. Dustsen getting a health refill. He was down to 1 hard. Can't blame him for taking that small detour.
No, not at all. Alright, we're getting very clean sewers.
And it's both these runners knowing exactly what they have to do in order to get through these sewers. The boots are definitely helping. And the only real troll here, this rat kill, but very nicely done from Fantallis.
Yeah, hammer is a little bit of a difficult. You typically just kind of wait for the rat to stand still and then hammer him, grab the key, and go. In this case, go fast because you got boots. Nothing
Some
important.
arrows, another big 20, and a bomb upgrade. Not the best sewers. Hopefully Sanctuary and Bonk Rocks will have a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm sure they're a little happy to at least see the rupees because we are kind of a little short still for the bottle merchant. Dustsen will have the bombs to check both locations and get enough rupees for the bottle vendor, but Fantallis will be a little short unless he gets another bomb first.
And just a little love from the Sanctuary Priest, unfortunately, out at 550. So a small lead for Fantallis says he's going to do an immediate map check. We have 2 pendants here in the light world. Desert Palace is a blue pendant. Tower O'Hara is our green.
Yep, and we looks like we had just a normal crystal on Eastern.
And Fantallis not forgetting Bonk Rocks. He's making a beeline to it. Good on him to remember that.
And looks like Dust remembers it as well.
I mean, it's not an item you expect to see this early, but you definitely have to keep that in mind that, oh, this is open.
Gonna check tree pole. We got some hearts from that tree pole. So the current stage of the tournament, we are on week 2 of the Swiss tournament, where it's going to be 7 weeks of this. You have to win at least 5 times to make it to the bracket stage. Did you see what was on Lumberjack, though?
No, I did not. It looked like it might have been a rod of some kind. We have Bombos in the Lost Woods.
Let's just put it like this. It is an aggro-required seed, because that was Samaria.
Oh, never mind then. So Kane of Samaria, that is going to be very, very much required in order to beat the game. Actually...
Yes,
right,
because there's only one pendant in Dark World.
There's only one pendant left. It can't be both Meyer and T-Rock.
Yep.
So Fantallis will get his 100 rupees. He will be able to go straight to the bottle vendor, but he would probably like to see some bombs first. So bombs are for $50 to get a 10-pack is going to be the order of the day before Fantallis can fully clear out. Let's see what Blind has over here on Dustsen's side. Dustsen did not check Lumberjack Cave, so he does not have that information that Agra 1 is immediately required.
Yeah, that's interesting because Fantallis might decide to just go right into Egg if it comes unlocked because he knows that and they already have boots, so there's no reason to put that off for very long.
Well, there's that $50 that Fantallis is going to need to buy the rest of his bombs and pay the bottle merchant. We have a bow! We have a bow in the back of Blind's weapon boutique.
Okay, this seed is being way too friendly to them.
It's aggro required. It's not that friendly.
No, it's still too nice. They had boots at sub-minute and a bow before 10 minutes. This is too nice to them now.
You know what they don't have? They don't have a sword. Game's not that nice.
They have a hammer. Who needs a sword?
The barrier thing in front of Aghanim, which, may I remind you, is required.
Oh yeah, but right now they've got a hammer, so they've got an early weapon that's unlimited. It's cool.
And there's big bucks there in the well, so money not an issue early. Dustin even has enough money to make an early Zora check. Oh wait,
he has a bottle
vendor. So
yep, still gotta pay
quite.
the bottle. We did get the mushroom, so that opens that up right away. I expect it'll be a little bit before we see it, though.
Yeah, seems like it'd be convenient to route in the area of like a Zora check. Oh, and there's our fire sword in the tavern.
Well, you said it wasn't that nice because they didn't have a sword. Well, now they have one.
Okay, apparently no fighting in the tavern, so let's see what Dustin is going to do with it. You can pick up whatever is in the library with these early boots, although he's not really going to need to.
No, just
Is
some
he going to
bombs.
check the race game or just head on to the dam? And he's going to check race game first.
Just $20.
And he also has knowledge, yes, that was Crystal 4 at Eastern Palace. Still going to need the lamp in order to, at least logically, full clear Eastern.
Yep, so right now we're either Sword and Lamp or Cape and Lamp. But, I mean, unless they find out that they need to go there really early, I don't see them just kind of rushing Ega either, unless it's required for Dark World. Because Samara's really only needed to go through Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. There's no real reason to go through there right when you can get there, because you could wait later and then have Tempered or Butter Sword or even Silvers and make it a lot faster.
That's very true. As Fantallis is going to go straight into the race game as Dustin opens up the dam, only to find $20 there.
Yep. And I'm sure we'll see Fantallis. Yep, he's probably going to save it. Nope, no, he's going to pick the rupees up.
And there's $50 for Dustin, putting him ever closer to the 500 as he's going to grab this big 20 as well. So he is getting close to the 500 rupees to pay Zora a visit. He's probably going to get the last 13 E's from Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, 5 chests in there, a good chance to get those last rupees. So we are doing standard swords randomized. Because of that, they're forced to go through the escape to save Zelda in the beginning instead of just having an open seed. Because of that, you're given a free light cone, or you'd have to have a lamp in one of the first 4 or 5 chests.
And Fantallis, instead of Mini Moldorm Cave, going straight to Sahasrarla's hut, and finds the book, among other things. Dustin getting a bunch of money, gets some bombs from Mini Moldorm Cave, a heart container, and there's our lamp in Mini Moldorm.
Well, Eastern is in logic then.
Yeah, full clear of Eastern is in logic, and it is actually the only crystal of the Light World dungeons, so it would behoove him to make this play, maybe not as quickly as Fantallis had, although if he can do those dark rooms, then it's not really going to be that much of a problem for him.
Yeah, I mean, Eastern Palace, at least the first Dark Room is typically one outside of Death Mountain that you learn first as a runner. Then the second one's not terrible. You just have to find out where that Igor is, and then it's pretty simple after that.
And so the early Eastern dig, this is going to, I assume, be a full clear, as only an arrow upgrade in Ice Rod Cave, and a really early big key as well here in Eastern.
Yeah, so they could potentially get like a God Eastern where they don't even have to worry about that chest in the back.
Also, with the book pickup, a Power Glove would put a full oh, what is this? Dustin with a water walk. I haven't seen this before.
Just hard.
This is a new glitch.
Yeah, I believe because of the way he did it as well, he can do Waterfall of Wishing.
Variant, I assume.
Oh, unfortunately.
Yeah, must have messed that up a little bit.
No, so if you're doing the water walking glitch, and you pick up a heart piece that gives you a health refresh, it actually drops you back in the water.
Oh, so that's rather unfortunate, actually, on his side. And speaking of, there's a piece of heart for Fantallis, and Dustin is going to be making this Eastern play.
Yeah, I don't blame him. He has everything he needs for it to be completely within logic. Even if you don't find anything in here, it is a crystal. You're going to need to come here eventually. But he does find his book, so.
Yes, so Fantallis apparently not having much problem at all with these dark rooms. Clearly he knows what he's up to.
Yep, I heard him grab his key, so he's going to be on his way to that chest in the back.
One thing to potentially note, Fantallis only does have 20 arrows. He's going to need, I believe, 18 to take out all the Armos Knights. So if he doesn't have, so if 20 is his max, he's going to have to be really precise with his shooting.
No, 30 is the max at the start. He just hasn't picked any up, but there's the 10 in the pots here he could pick up, which he's about to.
Okay, yeah, that gives him a lot more leeway. And a very nice shooting in the dark, but does not seem like he got the Igor that has the key. There it is.
There it is. I think he's just trying to get his position. There he goes. He's up the stairs.
Alright, that was very well done in the dark for Fantallis.
Yeah, if you have the fire rod, that room's a little bit easier because there's a torch to the left and the right as you enter the room, or you can just face forward and shoot 2 fire rod shots. First one will take the monsters out. The second one will light a torch that's in the center of the room in the back.
That's definitely good to know. And Dustsen doing a really nice job with that Stalfos despawn in that room.
Yep, and Fantallis is picking up some more arrows. They're up to 35.
And going top center for Armo strats. This is a bit interesting. Normally I see people on the bottom right, but he's just machine gunning these down, and very well done. Sadly, only 3 bombs for his trouble.
Yeah, he used the quick kill strat that you typically see in NMG runs. You give one Armos 2 arrows, because when the last Armos changes to red, it typically gets a health refill, but if you set it up that way, you can actually hit the last one before he gets the health refill.
So let's see what Fantallis decides to do here. He does have a mini Moldorm cave, and the dam and all that he can check, and that'll definitely get him more than enough money to do his Zora play if he wants to. And unlike Dustsen, a piece of heart won't give him the refill.
I think he's going to run mini Moldorm cave and then go towards dam and then desert, because outside of that, the only other thing that's really within logic or stuff around desert is the mushroom at this point.
Right.
Ooh, gets a nice double kill.
Breaking out the bombs, but yes, very well done on his part. And I'm sure he's got to be wondering, okay, where were you about 5 minutes ago? Not that he needed it, but I'm sure he would have helped.
It looks like he's going to grab the ice rod cave before checking out dam and desert area, though.
The ice rod cave is one of those, if you don't check it early, you're not going to check it until really late. So if you're a little bit scared that it's got something, this is going to be your one and only good time to check it.
Yeah, because it's so out of the way, and then once you pick up the mini Moldorm cave, there's nothing close by, so you orphan it quite a bit.
Actually, both of our runners have the lamp, but thanks for the heads up, Code and Witcher.
Dustsen has a nice Armos fights, picks up his crystal.
And Fantallis is going to do that dam to desert routing that you mentioned.
And then, as far as Dustsen, I see him saving, quitting like he's about to, and probably heading right to desert at this point himself.
I mean, at this point, the game isn't giving either of our runners too many other options.
Yeah, it's kind of been Yeah, it's
So
kind of been
rather
follow the
interesting.
breadcrumbs.
Yeah, it's rather interesting that for all the generosity that it's given our runners, they haven't been able to do much. So both our runners making a play for Gina's Cave. It's going to be interesting to see, right, because they still are going to need either a cape or a master sword before they can even think about Aga 1. So one of those kind of has to be here, I think, or at the witch's hut.
Well, that opens
Or it
Sick
could
Kid
be,
up.
yeah, it could be a sick kid.
And then something like Flute or the gloves would open up Death Mountain as well.
And gloves would also allow Desert Palace to be fully cleared, although with a blue pendant, that's not necessarily a priority. Just a bomb upgrade on Desert Ledge, so that's not going to be anything.
Yeah, so right now, probably really good chances that you're going to find your progression here at this point. At least something that's going to unlock an item location. Or, you know, it's going to be your Aga. Here's your Aga starter kit. Time to go.
Yeah, and the one good thing for Dustsen about this is that even though he did not check a Lumberjack Cave, so he doesn't know that Cave Samari is there, if you just need Aga for Dark World access, he's going to be making that play anyhow.
Yeah, we'll see what's here. Just a key.
And with the boots, they can check whatever's up here, and the big key is on the torch here in Desert. But again, with that early boots, that's not a problem.
We got a compass in the first chest on the right side, so either one of these is going to have some kind of item. There's 10 arrows.
10 arrows at 1, and there's the glove, so that does open up Death Mountain.
Yep, we could technically clear the dungeon if they want to. I highly doubt that we're going to, though. We found both items, and we don't know if it's a pedestal seed yet. So really, no reason to do this, because if Misery Mire is your other, regardless if it's your other pendant or your crystal, you're going to be kind of back in this area.
That is
And
very
yes,
true.
and this, as chat's pointing out, those were vanilla gloves.
How vanilla?
Yeah, and I expect both runners to... Oh, maybe not. I was going to say I expect both runners to head right to Death Mountain.
Fantallis might be doing that Zora check. Oh no, he's going to Dark World. He doesn't have Moon Pearl though. Does he think he can get into Hype Cave or something?
I'm not sure what he thinks he's doing.
Yeah, because you can't use hammer when you're in bunny mode. Sorry.
Yeah, I think
And
he thought he had
Dustsen
Moon Pearl, and I was
making
like, I'm
the play
good.
to the witch's hut.
Yeah, he might go up to Zora's area as well, potentially, since you're up here.
Fantallis is making the play to Death Mountain, it looks like.
All right, getting a little bit of divergence. We'll see what we have. No, he's... Oh, no, he's going to check Sick Kid first.
Right, Sick Kid, that's the square that opens up in here. And Titan's Mitt!
Okay.
Titan's Mitt at the witch's hut. That's relevant.
Sick Kid, not so relevant.
But yeah, Titan's Mitt at the witch's hut, that is very interesting. So that allows a lot more exploration, but still no effective Dark World access. So what's Fantallis going to do, I wonder?
He is trying to do a fake flipper, it looks like.
And he gets it, but I'm wondering, like, where does this portal go? And Dustin is making his lumberjack check. He's going to get the news that that's got to be Kane.
He was using the portal to make it a little bit faster to go check the mushroom, so he's about to get his Titan's
okay.
mitts.
That's such awareness. That's heads up. As Dustin is making his Death Mountain play.
Yep. Fantallis picks up his Titan's mitts.
And I assume, well, he's in the area, so Zora isn't that far of a check, but I don't think he has a good way to get it from this side.
Yeah, they have the
So
mitts. They have the mitts to get there like that, but it's one item, so he's probably going to make the same play we're seeing Dustin make and heading up to Death Mountain.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's only the couple spots you can really check. It's just Spectacle Rock and the item above, plus whatever the old man gives you. So we'll take a look and see what Fantallis ends up finding, as Dustin apparently did not like what he saw up on Death Mountain, so clearly nothing of much worth, at least not yet.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Fantallis sees, and we'll find out what Dustin gets.
A little love from the old man, so that's not something. Oh, Titan's Mitts opens up a King's Tomb. That's something I didn't think about.
Yes, it does.
And there's the Moon Pearl. That's Dark World access.
Yep, that is Dark World access. So we don't have to do Ega 1 just yet, but he's waiting.
I mean, it's going to be required at some point, but not right now. And with just 3 bombs and a heart container, we can see why Dustin just pieced out of Death Mountain. But yeah, a King's Tomb Moon Pearl, that's a rather awkward location for that item. Dustin is going to check Sick Kid, and then he's probably going to make the play towards a Village of Outcasts. And Fantallis is going to make that same King's Tomb play.
Yeah, there's not many other. I mean, it's either King's Tomb or Zora. So once you know that, it's like you like to save your rupees if you can.
I mean, there's also the fact that Zora's still not in logic. It's a fake flipper.
No, you can use. You just need gloves to get to Zora.
Or to get the actually Zora itself.
Yeah, just it would be Zora itself. You wouldn't be able to check Zora Ledge or the Waterfall Cave. But
Yeah,
chat, we're gonna get a pedestal check at 27th minute.
Oh, I didn't even think about this either. Dustin, he's going to know if he needs to go back and do a desert. What do we have? Just some pocket change.
All right, Pet Dream is dead at 28 minutes. Sorry, chat.
And we have Skull Woods and Turtle Rock as our important dungeons, and our red pendant is Ice Palace, so that's not going to be required, at least not for anything relevant.
Nope. And Emporio, Ega 1 is currently not can't even get into Ega Tower at this point. They either need the cape or they need another sword upgrade.
And Fantallis going immediately to Skull Woods. He can get through most of it, but without the Fire Rod, he won't be able to fully clear it. Meanwhile, Dustin making the Village of Outcasts play and spending his rupees here. And Fantallis in this room would really help if he had, I don't know, Cain and Samaria.
Ega told them they can't have that yet.
No, maybe he should wait and come back. Ooh, and he got the hand too strong for Fantallis, but maybe a blessing in disguise, he's just piecing right back out.
I think he actually grabbed on purpose so he could get teleported to the entrance, so since it'd be a little quicker.
That actually might be right, as Dustin is making a Thieves Town play.
Alright, just a compass on the first chest. We haven't seen anything in Skull Woods yet. So we got 2 items potentially in Skull Woods and 4 in Thieves Town.
And that sounds right to my math, but nothing really to write home about in either of these dungeons yet.
Nope, we got a piece of heart for the first item in Skull Woods.
Yeah, it is an item against the count, but it's definitely still nothing to write home about. Big key for Dustsen and Thieves in the third chest in front. And the fourth has a tiny cute little shield.
Yep, and Fantallis making the play into the Village of Outcasts, gonna get his items. Didn't really see anything important though.
No, just $20 here at C-Shape House. That was the one I don't think Dustsen checked before making this Thieves Town dive.
Yeah, and I fully expect Fantallis to go in here when he's done checking these items, because Thieves Town, it is a crystal. It's completable at this point with everything they have, and the boss isn't going to get any easier regardless of what weapons they find.
Yeah, Dustsen looked like he got the God Pixel in the Hellway, but RNG for the enemies not cooperating. Just another piece of heart here in the second item in Thieves Town. Not really all that much to speak of right now, is Dustsen making his way to the basement.
Yeah, nothing of value just yet in Thieves Town, so we'll see if the later chests have anything.
And Dustsen, with that key, will also be able to check the big chest. Blind has the map, so Big Chest's gonna have one of the items, and Blind himself, the Master Thief, will have the other.
Yep, so let's see what's behind the hammer pegs here.
Yes, you can either save your princess or have what's behind door number 1, $300. And let's see what joke Blind has for his comedy club today. Yeah, that's awful depressing, I think.
And Dustsen gets a little off of the normal kill that you can just script, but we'll see how he handles the rest of it.
So only got 3 hearts. Got to be careful. Down to 1 heart. He does have that red potion. That's gonna give him a lot of safety.
Yeah, it should be okay now.
Oh
Ooh.
no! Takes a death.
Takes a laser though, just as he was about to swing his sword.
Oh, that is brutal. Not just for the time loss. The time loss isn't that huge, but knowing that you have to go right back through it again, and you've lost your safety.
Well, and the other part that's hurts is that you lose the fight being able to be scripted now, so you have to fight that with the randomness.
Yeah, that's got to be crushing. Hopefully, Dustsen is able to get over and not tilt himself away in this. Yeah, those lasers deal 2 hearts of damage per hit. Those are really rough.
Yep, we haven't found any mail upgrades, so we're taking full damage still.
Oh, and Dustsen taking another death. And
Oh,
Fantallis
no.
taking a death.
That one's actually worse because he was in the basement with blind.
Yeah, he's got to go and fetch. He's got to go and fetch blind again. As Dustin is saying, "Okay, we're gonna work around this a slightly different way."
Thieves Town is not playing nice today.
Yeah, so you wonder where the troll is? Well, there you go. Dustin, it looked like he was going to hammer down those pegs and get into the shop, but it looks like he's going to be doing Alec Baldwin's digging game first.
Yeah, and Fantallis being a little bit more careful, it seems like, this time through Thieves Town. Trying to probably conserve health so he can go into blind with full health.
Dustin digging up a bunch of rupees, but not anything really good yet. Still got a couple more dig spots to go. That's something that's going to be very helpful. There's blue mail.
Yeah, he's probably wondering, where was this 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, well, it's still on the ground, obviously.
Yeah, I think we see him head back inside Thieves Town now.
He's going to, yeah, he's going to take the frog on a world tour first. Hopefully, Blind isn't holding a really important item that's going to block him a little later. You can also check Old Stumpy on the way. And let's see how Fantallis deals with this.
Yeah, he's got 5 hearts. He still has his safety as well with the red potion, so we'll see if he needs to dip into that.
That is very true. Fantallis doing a great job with this fight, not taking any damage so far.
Yeah, there he goes. So he got it down, no problem. Didn't take a single hit, it looks like, either. But it's just 20 rupees.
Yeah, thankfully for Dustin, just a big 20, so he'll be able to pop back in and finish off Blind pretty much whenever he decides he needs to. In the meantime, we're going to get a Hype Cave check.
20 rupees, 5 rupees, more rupees, and more rupees. Yeah, so I'm gonna give that.
That's a pretty lame Hype Cave.
I'm not even gonna give that a 1 out of 10.
Yeah, that's no, thank you. So Fantallis is going through the hammer pegs, and the ability to hammer dash makes it a lot easier. And just another piece of heart, so really not a lot of useful items after that initial rush.
No, we've kind of been waiting. Haven't really received anything of value so far. So the big thing to note that neither one of them have went to. I think we're going to see Fantallis probably start taking the same steps we've seen Dustin take, at least with the digging game. We'll see if he takes Jeremiah on his world tour and takes him back.
And just $5 from the lumberjack, so that's a bust as well.
That's actually a ripoff because you lost 5 rupees. But the one thing that's been in logic, as soon as they got Moon Pearl, Pod is completely open to them.
Right. Pod is potentially open with the hammer to get in there and full clear, as well as the bow, in case they need to clear the mimics. But Dustin's gonna take this portal. Wonder what he's planning on doing here. I mean, I believe from here Pyramid's accessible, so that might be his play.
Probably do Pyramid, and then he'll either head to Pod or he'll head to Catfish.
And Catfish is another one of those places where it's just a really awkward place to check.
Yeah, I expect to see Pod first, because if you find Mirror in there, then you could head up towards Catfish and check Zora's as well if you want to.
Right, Zora is also a place that has a couple items that may be something. It's just an arrow upgrade. Nice hammer speed, though. That was nice. Is Fantallis going to go to first and last type cave savings and trust? And Dustin is making that Catfish play. So let's see. It looks like Fantallis, he's making that same direction. He's going to check Pyramid and probably Catfish as well.
Yeah, I'll see if he does Catfish before he decides to head into Pod.
And what's our fishy friend got for us today? Just a little love.
It's going to take a save and quit, though. That's interesting. We'll see where he goes then.
He might be on the Zora play. Or he might be planning on just finishing up Thieves Town, thinking that Blind has the next piece of progression. But Fantallis is making that Pod play.
Yeah, I guess Dustin looks like he's probably going back to Pod at this point. He's just did a save and quit to go back to the Light World, but probably about the same time either way, really.
So with bow, lamp, and hammer, this pod is going to be, as you said, fully clearable. Without the mirror, though, it is going to take quite a bit of time.
Yep, it's going to take a little bit more time without the mirror, but who knows, maybe they'll find a mirror in first chest.
It is entirely possible. Fantallis taking a little bit of time to get that hammer dash working properly, but does get it.
Right now that Kiki's successfully extorted both players to open this dungeon up.
And we are still on the lookout for a sword upgrade or a cape. Those are still required to get that Cane of Samaria still. And this won't be the latest AGA 1 check that all I've seen in the tournament so far. I believe yesterday there was a race where runners had to make the AGA 1 trip at an hour 40 because Bombos was guarding a crystal dungeon.
That always hurts, because you see something, it's like, is Samaria, especially, you know, you've got two pendants in the Light World, you know what's required at that point. Bombos, on the other hand, you're sitting there wondering for, it's like, okay, I need to remember this, not even knowing if you're going to have to run AGA for as long as you are.
Yeah, it took our runners a while before we were able to get up to Turtle Rock and see that, oh, that does require Bombos.
Alright, but Pod living up to its name right now, and just nothing so far in the front. We've got keys and big keys.
And Fantallis, doing a nice little bonk, gets yet another key, though. So it looks like all the action is going to be in the back half.
We're going to check the vanilla big key location, though.
Gets Ether. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, you're probably happy to see that, because, you know, you have to go into both Misery Mire as well as Turtle Rock. So, you know, chances are you've got the medallion for both of them at this point.
It's It's about a 5 in 9 chance that they still need Quake, though. So I mean, it's the 50-50. It's more than 50-50 odds that they are going to have to pick up that third medallion. Oh dear, Fantallis trying to set up a hammer jump. And very well executed. Like, that is not easy to set up. Sure, the pause buffering helps you a little, but you just have to know it. And there's a fire rod. That's definitely going to be helpful.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see a Skullwoods play soon.
Yeah, fire rod does mean full clear of Skullwoods is in the cards. And it is not only a crystal, it's a crystal 5, I believe. 5 or 6, one of the two.
Yeah, it is one of our 5-6. The other one is Turtle Rock, but we're missing a lot to get up to Turtle Rock, and we're missing Aga as well. So,
yeah, you still need the cane, need the ice rod to clear Turtle Rock, and need to know what medallion is guarding it. And there's the flute here in the horseshoe, so that's going to be something else that can open up a few spots.
yeah, well, I thought of one of the first potential kind of forced double dips could be the second sword or the cape, and the other ones might not be accessible, could be inside of Misery Mire.
That is entirely possible. It's also possible... no, Desert Palace, we got all the items out of that. But yeah, an early dip of Mire could be on the table, but we still need you need the cane in order to clear that, so that's going to be after Aga.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably try to wait to go in there until after they've done Aga, but if their only option for progression for Aga is either Master Sword or Cape, and the first one of those are available in Misery Mire, they may have to double dip.
Before you get to the Samaria block puzzles, yeah.
Yep, they might just be forced to double dip, because the only chest in Misery Mire, or item location that's behind these Samaria blocks, is Vitreous himself.
I think that's a good point. I'm just too used to Zelda 1 Randomizer, and that game actually has a guarantee that you'll never be required by logic to double dip dungeons. So it's a little bit different catching up with this game. Also catching up to Dustsen is his damage tanking. He's down to 2 hearts. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, especially in this room, because the monsters don't care. Although he might have been trying to take a death on purpose, potentially to save the key.
That might have been... That might have been. We'll see how it works out. Chad is saying, yeah, that was most likely a death warp, as Fantallis taking on the worst room in the game. Does a pretty good job of it, and gets a fairy as well.
I say that room's if you don't have the lamp if you don't have lamp or fire rod, in which case they have fire rod, so it wouldn't be that terrible of a dark room. But the worst room in the game is the first dark room in Misery Mire if you have no lamp.
So Fantallis again holding out the charged sword when he swings his hammer, reducing the knockback from Helmasaur King.
He's going to use arrows to take care of the Helmasaur.
Regular wooden arrows, so he won't be able to one-shot it like he would if he had the silvers, but still going to get the job done in short order. And there we go.
Yep, down he goes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Fighter Sword does not, or you have to do spins, one of the two.
And just $50 on Helmasaur King. So we did have the fire rod in the pod, but otherwise not much.
Yeah, not too much, but that does open up Skullwoods, so I'm sure we're gonna see that because we didn't really get anything opened up too much.
Well, very easy, very interesting. Dustin trying to use ether to kill off the turtles, but ends up doing all of nothing, unfortunately.
Yeah, if they're flipped over, it will freeze them, which can help if you're doing this in the dark with no fire rod, because if they are frozen, they still do actually light up at that point. So you can come in and smash them with the hammer. Oh yeah, we did find flute in there. We found flute. I forgot
Right,
about
flute.
that.
Yeah, flute's relevant. And it looks like that's what Fantallis is doing. He's going to activate his 2D flute.
Yep, and everybody please rise for the National Swag Duck Anthem.
Makes you choke up every time. And yes, pretty much right on cue, Fantallis is making that Skullwoods check. Fantallis already did a bit of Skullwoods, so he doesn't have that more to check if memory serves.
Yeah, he was the one that already dipped in his skull. Dust decided to avoid it for right now, but I'm sure if Dust is going to go do the same thing, he's going to activate his swag duct, and we'll see if he decides to go into the Misery Mire area to check the shed, or if he comes over here to Skullwoods.
So Fantallis getting out that fire rod. He also doesn't know what's on the pedestal yet, and without the mirror, he can't exactly make a super quick check. But I'm sure he's going to be thinking about it in the back of his head with how little the seed's given us.
And this might be a little bit of a rough Mothula fight, because you are looking at Fire Rod with no half magic. You're already at half magic, so you got about 4 shots on Mothula, and you got Fighter Sword and Hammer, so not the easiest fight, even with Blue Mail because of all those spikes.
That is very true. Fantallis does still have that red potion of his, though, so that'll give him a little bit more survivability. He gets a fifth shot of fire on the moth, and Dustin is going to invest in some potions before doing much of anything. Considering how badly he got burned by blind, can't say as I fault him for this.
Yeah, I think he's thinking I need to go to Swamp. I have to fight Mothula. He's just kind of getting set up.
Instead, and Fantallis is gonna burn that potion. Gotta be careful down to 1 heart, and does get the clutch kill. And that's the end of the Moth Radio Hour. Dustin with a quick shed check, but then he's gone, so apparently nothing there. But yeah, very good job by Fantallis. An absolutely clutch kill.
Yep, and he's going to dip back in here as he gambled that Mothula was going to have the item. He doesn't, so it's going to be a quick check to this chest right here.
And that has the compass, so the big chest is going to have our last item.
Yep, and he's going to take a death on purpose. I'm not sure as far as the Mystery Mire medallion. It was on there for the briefest a second, so I could not even catch it. So I was trying to pay attention to the Mothula fight at the same time. So
yeah, I unfortunately didn't catch it either. As Dustin is just making his entry into Mire, or Skullwoods, my bad. And looks like we're going to see a hammer or a bomb jump attempt from Fantallis. And with the boots, this should be a lot easier, but still not a gimme by any stretch.
Yeah, he's going to go into the back, bomb the wall.
Right, that's probably a much safer play.
Yeah, as I think after this, he's going to save and quit and then head into the Mire area himself.
And that's the Cane of Brian, which is a defensive item, just not the one we need in order to get through Aghanim.
Nope,
It does open up the logic for Burn a Spike Cave, though.
Yes, because we do have a bottle, so that is completely open now.
And Fantallis, yes, he's going to save and quit. And let's see, is he going to think of Spike Cave, or no? He's probably on the Mire play as well. And chat saying that Mire was Bombos to get in, so that will be available to them if they want it.
Wait,
Dustsen's just stunning to give those.
Fantallis is going towards Aga, but he can't get in there yet.
Yeah, maybe he thinks Cane of Burn is good enough, but it's not.
The progression right now either has to be in the purple chest, Spike Cave, or, since Misery Mire is Bombos, that is open to us right now.
Yes, Fantallis realizing, wait a minute, I'm missing something.
Yes, and Zora could as well.
Right, that is entirely possible. I still didn't get a good look at Mire, so I'm going to go with chat saying that it's Bombos. Got no reason to think they would lie about that.
So Yagamoth, right now it's pretty much we've got a Cane of Samari sitting at the Lumberjack that we still can't get to. We're kind of waiting on that. Fantallis is about to dip into Misery Mire, knowing he's not going to be able to clear it because he knows where Samaria is. But as far as our progression, it's either got to be in here, Spike Cave, Purple Chest, or Zora.
So not a whole lot of places you can still check, but this is about as good as any, although, again, with no safeties, it's got to be rough.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of going into Mire because even if you're in go mode, unless you find the big key, in the first few chests, it's really not that much of a time loss. And you're already here checking the Mire shed, so you're just wasting time if you're saving and quitting, going to one of the one-off areas that you have when you do have two potential items in here.
Yeah, that is very true.
And Dustin using that blue potion to get his magic back just so he can get through the torches because it looks like he had a little bit of problems.
Yeah, it does, but managed to get through it this time, thankfully. And he's still going to be at almost full magic for this Mothula fight.
Yeah, I believe he actually will be because there is a small magic refill.
He's going to be at next to full. And Mothula doing no favors staying so close to the top.
Yeah, but
Dustin doing a good job of avoiding all the spikes. That's what gave Fantallis most of the trouble.
Yeah, just kind of taking his time, waiting for his shots, but now he's got to go to either sword or hammer.
Looks like the sword is doing some damage. It's at least providing some recoil, so...
Yeah, Fighter Sword does do damage to Mothula, so it's just not that much. And it's more difficult because of the short range as well.
I mean, compared to his other option, the hammer, it's not really much choice. As Fantallis is going to check the vanilla big key as Dustsen does get another clutch kill. And that's the end of the second half of the Moth Radio Hour.
All right, well, we'll see where he goes now. He's got pretty much the same options as Fantallis, but we find a hook shot.
There's your progression. That's a hook shot, so that opens up the rest of Death Mountain.
Yeah, so
that's Paradox Cave, that's Spiral Cave, and because they've got the Pearl now, that's all the Dark Mountain checks, I believe, as well. And also, I believe it can also see what medallion they're going to need for a Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and they could actually open up the portal to Turtle Rock, and then if it's Bombos or Ether and they have the magic, they can just open up Turtle Rock right away while they're up there.
I thought you needed I guess you don't need Master. I thought you need Master Sword or better in order to actually cast the medallion spells.
No, to actually just use the medallions, you just need a sword. You need the Master Sword to check the actual tablets.
Okay. So Dustsen's checking a bumper cave. And that's just a heart container.
Yeah, but right now on Death Mountain, the only thing that is not accessible, really, is outside of Turtle Rock and Mimic Cave is going to be the tablet. Everything else is accessible and within logic.
Yeah, Dustsen, it looks like he's going to finally get around to finishing off Thieves Town. He put that off for plenty long, as Fantallis is making that trip up to Death Mountain.
Yeah, I don't blame him. There's so many items up here right now. The other options, they're just not even close to being appealing.
Yeah, and chat also pointing out with Hammer and Hookshot, they can backdoor their way to the Tower of Hera, which is the green pendant. So it might be Sahasrarlit that's got the ultimate progression.
It could possibly be. And Count Extreme, I believe he found all the chests he could at the time. They don't have the Cane of Samara yet to actually finish Meyer, because that's sitting on the Lumberjack ledge. So we still need to kill Aga 1, who we can't even get to at this point still.
I was half expecting Master Sword to be in one of those chests, and I could just go, yeah, you were saying like a lot?
Yeah, I was waiting for that too, because the seeds always have a way of making me eat my words as I'm saying them.
Why? Because the game knows. Well, there's powder. That's a good defensive item. There's flippers, and there's that Master Sword we were just.
All right, well, the seed just made me wait a little bit.
So Master Sword means Aga 1 is in play. Flippers means Zora, the Waterfall, and the Ledge are all in play. Basically, the trip was basically get to Death Mountain. That's going to fix all your problems.
Yeah, there's probably one thing that they didn't want to see the flippers for this early, though, because it puts something else on the table.
Oh, you're right. It puts Swamp Palace in play.
No, Swamp Palace isn't in play yet. They don't have a mirror, but right, it does put Pendant Ice Palace into play.
Our good friend Pendant Ice Palace. How I've missed you so. And Fantallis is going to... He's going to check... no, he's going... Fantallis is going to backdoor into Hera. While he's here, he has the book so we can check what the Ether Tablet is, but he won't be able to actually get it.
Yeah, he does. He picked up Master Sword there, so he can actually get the tablet now.
Yeah, we were just talking about he got Master Sword. Dustsen is going to cash in Gary's lunchbox, and let's see what's on the Ether tab. Just $5.
I think Vitreous might have an item, Julissa sent. I know Dustsen was running his Mothula fight, and I know the only major thing I saw was Hookshot.
Oh, we have a small key here, so it's likely the basement is going to be required here. Dustsen, it looks like he just misfluted. And the lunchbox, oh, we have another sword upgrade, so he's got his Master Sword that way.
Alright, so we know we have Tempered at least. So no Master Sword strats today on Ganon.
And Dustsen is immediately going to Aga 1.
Which, actually, This might save him some time because he does not have to double dip Misery Mire now.
Yeah, that's definitely useful. Or, now what is he doing? Oh, he's going to refill his potion. That's what he's up to. And Fantallis apparently not knowing the block dodge strat where you can just sit on one of those toggle blocks and just tank all the damage.
Yep. So as chat's pointing out, double dip Misery Mire was not required.
And unless Fantallis finds something really good here in a Tower of Hera, this play is going to be a waste as well.
Yeah, he had to come down here for the big key, so... Yeah, it is possible Fantallis doesn't get that sword, so if we don't see another sword upgrade, he could be stuck on Master Sword. And if it ends up being they don't find silvers, that's going to be a good bit of a time difference when it comes to Ganon.
Even Tempered Sword versus Master Sword, it's a significant difference. A lot more than you'd think just from an upgrade, because the difference from, say, Tempered to Gold isn't that much, but from Master to Tempered, it's huge. That said, with the hookshot and boots, Fantallis will be able to do a little bit of swag to check this big chest. Not much there, though, just 3 bombs.
Yeah, we don't have the map, so it's curious to see. He's going up to Trolldorm. I guess Trolldorm has green pendants, so that makes it.
Yeah, it does open up. That does open up Sahasrara, although that's a little bit of a long shot check. Then again, if he doesn't think he has better options, what else is he going to do? A nice kill on Moldorm, no falls, no faults. Dustsen making his way up Hyrule Tower. He's on 6th floor. There's only 1 to go, as Fantallis does have his green pendant.
Well, then, before we get much further, because we've only got 1 more floor until it's time, chat, I think it's time for you to get your guesses as to how many blue balls we're going to see on Ega 1.
I'm going to go with 4.
Yeah, that's a pretty good number. I'm going to go with... the seed was nice at the beginning, but it's kind of evened out, so I'm going to say we're going to get 3.
Alright, so Fantallis in the meantime is going to check Spiral Cave. Bob's chest number of blue balls. Interesting. That's a bold move. Let's see if it pays off.
There's 1.
And we also have a call for tile room number of blue balls. And it looks like Fantallis is going to be doing the Dark World checks as well. So he's going to get a Super Bunny Cave, he's going to be able to get the forward Hookshot Cave, and he will also be able to get a... He'll be able to burn a Spike Cave if he wants to go that way. Here's a second blue ball on Dustsen's side.
Yeah, and he'll also be able to get the Knowledge of Turtle Rock's medallion, so he'll know if he needs to find Quake or not, too.
There's 3 blue balls and some frustration boomerangs. There's red mail here in Super Bunny Cave, and only 3 blue balls, so right on the money, Link-a-Lot. Good job.
Alright, well, I probably won't guess the key right, so I'm glad I got at least one of them right so far.
Dustsen will still be spawning in the light world, at least until he gets the mirror, but it's bombos for both, it appears, so Turtle Rock is open right now.
Yep.
Although without the King of Samaria, it's not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, we're still waiting for that, so...
Speaking of, Dustin is going right on his way to make a beeline for the king. And there's our mirror in Hookshot Cave.
So now Swamp is open. So, looking at it, we are Ice Rod from Go Mode.
Yeah, that's all Fantallis. He needs to go and do Angle 1 to get the cane as Dustin picks it up, and he needs to find the Ice Rod, and then he's in Go Mode. Dustin is going to need the mirror, he's going to need the hook shot, and he's going to need the flippers.
Yeah.
But two of those are in one place, remember.
Yeah, and I see, like, he's going to go into Misery Mire. He's going to clear this out. He's going to find his hook shot. And then probably head up right to Dark Death Mountain, find his mirror. And I'm guessing after that, it'll be interesting to see if he decides to hop in to Turtle Rock to gamble on the Ice Rod. But more than likely, probably head to Swamp and check everything there. Because you don't really want to go through Turtle Rock twice unless you have to, or you have a better idea that that's probably where your Ice Rod is.
Yeah, absolutely. In the meantime, Fantallis going through Burn a Spike Cave, and we have Net for service. And we now have Fantallis making the play to Aga 1. So still, right now our runners are just covering each other's tracks. Hard to tell who's ahead at this point.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see once Dustin finishes Misery Mire and Fantallis picks up his Cane of Samaria, how close they are at that point. Because then they're pretty much, with the exception of...
Yeah, I mean, Death Mountain play is also going to take some time. So Fantallis is going to be a slight bit ahead in terms of once they're back at parity. But it is going to be all about who can find the Ice Rod first. But Fantallis showing off his NMG skills with some just really good kills on these tower guards. And Dustin continuing to go through Mire. It's going to be a bit annoying because he's going to have to go all the way up to the big key room in order to pick up his hook shot.
Yeah, I was probably going to be very happy to see the hook shot and know that he didn't come in here beforehand and have to double dip this.
Right, because with the King of Samara, he can full clear it.
Yeah, that's why it'll be interesting to see kind of how close they are, because Fantallis is going to have to come back in here. Granted, he just has to go to Vitreous, but Dustin will have it completely cleared.
And Fantallis putting the fire rod to pretty good use to make short work of these guards. So Dustin's got his hook shot. Down to only 3 hearts, but yeah, he still does have that blue potion, so that's going to be helpful.
Yeah, because he went and bought another one, that's right.
Yeah, bought it for Aga 1, turned out not to need it. Not immediately going for the boss, but then again, since he still needs the mirror and the flippers. But he's also going to pick up his Tempered Sword in Paradox Cave, and that's going to help his offense a bit more.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is the fact he'll have Tempered, because, like I said, if he doesn't find we don't find a sword, and the only other sword we know of is in Purple Chest, Fantallis won't pick it up, and he'll be on Master Sword for the remainder of the game, which will make a big difference come the Ganon's Tower.
And Dustin gotta be careful. And takes a death. He did get the big key though, so we won't have that much worse to go. But it's going to largely nullify the advantage that he would have not having to double dip Meyer, because he's basically got to do the same length that Fantallis will have to. So Fantallis still having a little bit of trouble on this Aga 1 fight, but looks like he's there he is. He's got it down. And Dustin taking another death, and that one was intentional. What is he up to, I wonder?
Probably just doing death warps. From where he was, if you can get through this room quick enough, it's really a little bit of a time save.
Perhaps. But Fantallis is going to get his cane, and he's probably going to go straight to Meyer and finish it off. He might go to a Swamp Palace and knock that out first. Probably 6-1 at this point.
Yeah, either one would be. He might do Meyer, because from what we could see on Dustin's side, Vitreous does have an item. So if that does end up being the Ice Rod, then you could go mode Swamp Palace.
And the go mode Swamp Palace is always a good feeling. A lot that you can have go wrong there if you have to go and take out that left side in addition to everything else. It's going to be interesting to see how Dustin decides to approach Vitreous, as Fantallis is going right back to Meyer.
He can also check Checkerboard Cave while he's here now, too.
Right, that is one more spot he has available to him, but he's going straight into the dungeon. Thus, accidentally flipping the crystal switch the wrong color. Has to go back and fix it. Everyone's done that at least once or twice.
Yeah, it's just muscle memory from going in here when and it's not a single clear. You usually just like, I need to hit this to switch it back, and when you really didn't need to.
So the lead or difference is basically going to be between Dustin getting his mirror and Fantallis getting through the rest of Vitreous.
Yeah, so this really, it's going to come down to the gamble for the Ice Rod. Where do you go first to try to find this? And then if you make a good decision and find it, you're thinking, did my opponent make this decision, or did I make a good play and am I in the lead now?
Dustin, at first starting with the bombs on the small eyeballs, instead pulling out the arrows. I like this play a bit more. Gotta be careful when that big one pops out. That lightning is really dangerous. Down to 3 hearts. He has to be careful. Lightning bolt to the face will kill him from here, I believe.
Yes, it would. And so when I hit...
An eyeball in the face. And Dustin's gotta go back. Fantallis about to go into Vitreous. He's definitely in the lead at this point.
Yeah, that definitely... Any kind of advantage he had of not having to double dip this, that just kind of went out the window there.
Yeah. And Fantallis going with the damage boost strats to just swing his sword around these eyes. Down to 4 hearts though, so he's got to be careful too.
He does have red mail, so he won't take as much damage as Dustin would.
Yeah, that said, it's still something he has to be very careful of. He was doing some damage boost strats into the goo, but no, not really doing that so much. And pulling out the bow, 34 arrows, and he's just going to machine gun until that eye is done.
Alright, down goes Vitreous.
Oh, and there's the Ice Rod!
We're in go mode.
Fantallis has go mode. Fantallis at go mode in an hour 20 now has a huge lead.
Yep, go mode Swamp and a Turtle Rock and right to Ganon's Tower.
So chat, with go mode in play, start thinking about what you want to do, and if you have donated 250 or more bits, or you are a subscriber to the Speed Gaming family and networks, also start thinking, get your lucky charms, consult your neighbors, because we have just a few minutes before we are going to get started with our other favorite game. That said, Chad is pointing out Fantallis by being go mode with just a Master Sword, he is going to be on Master Sword Silverless unless Silver's happen to be on his way to Big Key in either Swamp or T-Rock or GT.
Or we find a sword upgrade as well.
Yeah, I suppose that's possible. There is only one of those left, though. And Dustin, again, down to 3 hearts.
Yeah, he has to be careful.
And he's got that blue goo ready. Thing is, an eyeball poke. Oh, gets off just in time. Now he's down to 1 heart. Dustin's got to be extremely careful here.
Almost takes that lightning.
Yeah, lightning is very erratic in its patterns. You can be looking one way and you can be in the other corner. You can still just nail you.
All right, gets all the little eyes down, so now he's just got to take down the big eye.
Just 10 arrows, though. I'm not sure if that's enough to get the kill. We'll see.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Just needed 8.
All right, he's going to get his Ice Rod, which may be a bad thing because he may dip right into Turtle Rock, even before getting his mirror, potentially.
You know, on one hand, he doesn't need the mirror to clear Turtle Rock. He needs it to clear a swamp. But, yeah, this could be... Well, no, he still needs flippers before he can even think about Swamp Palace. So he may have to full clear Turtle Rock looking for mirror and, yeah, he's gotta think that everything is up here. So hopefully he thinks that he'll be in go mode before he digs Turtle Rock. He'll
Find the flippers before digging or diving into Turtle Rock because that's in the light world side, whereas the mirror was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was Hookshot Cave, which,
yeah,
I would think you would check Hookshot Cave before thinking about diving Turtle Rock, but maybe
especially
you think I already have
right
everything.
There, yeah. And there's the big key in the basement along with the fire shield.
Yeah, big key not so much of a big deal for Swamp because you don't actually need it to get to the boss. Its only real use is to open the big chest up.
Right.
We'll see what kind of strats Fantallis uses against Argus, because he doesn't have Tempered Sword, so he's either going to have to use spin strats or item switching.
It's going to be interesting. Neither of them are going to be particularly fast.
Looks like he's
And
going to double
he
slashes.
is on the... Yeah, that'll get the job done. And a Fire Rod and a few slashes is going to take down Argus for Fantallis. And oh my goodness, they're silver arrows!
Alright, I know somebody in chat called that.
So we have Dustsen getting a little bit trolled by these dead rocks as he makes his way into Spiral Cave, so he is going to have to go up the mountain again.
Everybody, you need to band together and burn Malachris because he's a witch, because he called this.
Yeah, Malachris, make sure you go pick up the phone because you called it. So that is going to mitigate a significant part of Fantallis' problems with GT. And especially if he happens to come across the last sword upgrade, but he's going to turn in his 2 bottles into 2 blue potions. But rather interesting, this is going to end up being a Zora-less seed. And the first time I've seen one of those.
Yeah, we never had a check of Zora, so we will find out, I believe, but through the credits, what Zora actually had for sale.
Yes, the Master Conars, the only attempted check we had was Fantallis fake flippering, or no, Dustsen fake flippered, but ended up getting a heart container refill from the first Waterfall of Wishing chest.
Alright, Dustsen is checking sees the bombos.
And he is taking that check to Hookshot Cave, which is very good for him. He is going to get his mirror, and he'll be in go mode. The problem is he's going to be pretty much a full dungeon behind. It is go mode Swamp, which is definitely quicker than some of the alternatives, but they're going to be about equal pace through Turtle Rock. The only advantage that Dustin is going to have is the Tempered Sword.
Yeah, but he sees the mirror, he immediately leaves. He's going to run Turtle Rock while he's up here already, then go over, he'll save and quit, head over to Swamp Palace, and then he's going to have to walk back up. Whereas Fantallis is going to finish Turtle Rock, go right to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, so Fantallis with a commanding lead, and Silver Arrows alleviating a lot of his potential worries.
Yeah, but Dustin will also have silver arrows. There's the Tempered Master Sword difference right now. It's not enough of a difference to make up having to walk up Death Mountain again, as well as going through Swamp Palace. So there's going to need to be some other, mistakes Fantallis is going to have to make at this point, or a lot of execution on Dustin's side.
I mean, with the deficit he has, I would say it's pretty comfortably Fantallis' race to lose. Not to say he can't, but it would definitely be his race to lose.
Yeah, right now it is his race to lose. If he, executes the way he needs to, but there's Tempered.
Full upgrade. Oh my goodness. So there goes Dustin's last advantage. It'll be a Tempered versus a Gold Sword, but again, the difference between those two is nowhere near what the difference is between Tempered and Master Sword. And Malachris calling again, saying Fourth Sword was in Turtle Rock on the way. But yeah, so far everything coming up Fanta. Getting trolled a little bit by the chain chomps, but does eventually get through it.
Well, let's just make the climb up Ganon's Tower even easier. Let's give him the mirror shield while we're at it.
Why not?
Yeah, so Fantallis is just, finishing up Turtle Rock. So he's going to have to check the vanilla chest to see if we got a big key in here. Which I believe it has to be here if he doesn't have it.
And there it is.
Yeah, but at this point, Fantallis really isn't looking for much. He might open some chests potentially looking for the Butter Sword. We know he's not going to find it, but at this point, he's probably comfortable with his equipment now.
I would certainly say so. The fact that he has silver arrows alone, I think, is enough to say, yeah, I'm not going to need to check any further. And I have to double check this one, but yeah, Fantallis with that key, I don't think he even needs to necessarily check Laser Bridge.
Depends what we find here. He needs a key for the crystal roller room. If there's a key here, then nope, he can just skip Laser Bridge.
Okay, so Laser Bridge will be required. And a nice little bonk jump over the crystal roller in order to get around it. That was cute. But of course, with the mirror shield, Laser Bridge not going to prove to be that problematic. Gets another bottle, and that has a fairy in it, so as if he needed any more defense.
Yeah, nice safety to get.
I mean, he did have the net and the powder, so if you ran into any anti-fairies, he could have done that. And there's his key, so he's not going to need to check that fourth chest.
Right, about to enter his fight with Trinex.
And with that, it's time to start thinking about numbers. Anyone who is a subscriber or who has put forth 250 or more bits to the channels, start getting your guesses in for where is that big key going to be in Ganon's Tower. There are 22 places it can be. Just start getting your guesses. A very quick kill on Trinex, just 4 slashes with that tempered sword, and down goes the three-headed monster.
Yeah, very clean kill on Trinex.
So all Fanta's got to do is dodge a few Lionels. For all the trouble that Lionels keep giving me in Zelda 1, it's good to note there are only those 3 here in this game.
All right, but we are entering Ganon's tower.
Yes, and we're going to see what these first few chests are here on the right side. We're working on these tech issues. Just going to be a second. Well, it looks like Fantallis must have found the big key somewhere. Unfortunately, we can't tell you where. Dustsen still right about to go into a swamp palace. Unfortunately, the guessing game is going to have to wait until the credits.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out, or ask him what chest he found it in, because yeah, we did not see anything.
Yeah, the credits will tell us which chest had the big key in it, so that'll be some help at least. As Fantallis is headed his way through the gauntlet.
Yep, and as you know, we just got the message from Fiesel in the chat. We're having a little bit of network issues, so apologize for the lagginess. We're doing our best to get this working for you, as we know it's kind of at the end of the race, and this is what everybody's here to see.
Yes, with the Silver Arrows, Fantallis trying to get the one cycle on these land moles does get an amazing job. That's not as hard to do as he makes it look.
Yeah, the credits won't count torch unless the item was picked up, but we can always ask Fantallis before we do the big key if he wants to come in for an interview, if he saw the torch, and if he did, if he picked it up.
And Fantallis, you can tell that he has been putting some work into NMG. He's nailing some of these harder tricks. Yeah, that lamp may prove to be a small issue. You may have to relight that.
Yeah, he's gonna be safe and wait, because you could have went for it, but you do risk despawning the tower then.
Down to half a heart. He does have those 2 blue potions, so he's gonna burn 1. Just has to make sure that he doesn't accidentally lock himself out. It was rather close, but he's through.
More than likely, chat, we will probably wait for the credits for Fantallis, because the way the rules are supposed to go for the game is we do have to do it based off of who had went into Ganon's Tower first, Dustin could take a different route than Fantallis, and we do have to take that into account.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Fantallis showing off that nearly full menu. The only items that didn't get picked up were the cape and the Quake medallion. As Dustin is taking care of his Argus fight with the gold sword. That's not going to take any time at all, but he's still just so far behind.
Yep. Oh, we see Dustin finishing off Swamp, so he's got his 7th crystal, so he's going to be on his way up to Ganon's Tower.
Yep. So Fantallis. Fantallis already on Aga 2, and that looked like a triple. We'll have to go back and get a better look at it. But what was probably a 3 or 4 cycle Aga 2, very well done.
Yep, very well. So he's going to be off to his Ganon fight.
And I'm sure Fanta and Dustin will have local recordings if anyone wants to double check what's going on in these brief outages. And a little bit of meta humor from Ganon as we go into the fight. With Tempered Sword, he'll just be able to slash away at the pig, and shouldn't be too long before he's got him in the Fire Bat phase. And very nicely done, keeping him in the center where those Fire Bats just cannot touch him, getting all those hits in just one go.
Yeah, and should be, yep, he's on phase 3 already.
And Fantallis has his silver arrows out. He does have a fairy in a bottle and the second blue potion, so he should be pretty safe, barring, say, a fall.
Yeah, we are going to ask, and we'll also look at the credits, assuming it doesn't skip, leg and we miss it. But it will say in the credits the chest in Ganon Tower, so we should be able to tell from that as well. Since we
did we find the silvers in Swamp Palace? Yes, we did. Here they are, right in your face.
Yeah, you're
getting Torch Glitch, looking like he might set up a double. Gets a double. And there's the 4th silver arrow hit, and Fanta has taken down the pig right as Dustin is getting in. So very well done. About a 1 dungeon lead they managed to hold for the rest of the race.
GG to Fantallis.
There's the door. There's the dot done. Everyone get your GGs in chat as Fantallis is up to 2-0. So we will be looking to get Fanta in here for an interview as soon as we can. As Dustin, looks like from that pause, getting the unfortunate news.
All right, and looks like we have Fantallis in the waiting room. We're going to pull him in. Hey, Fantallis, GG.
Thanks so much.
So very generous seed right at the end. You get the ice rod off of Vitreous. So you're in go mode. You got to do Swamp. You got to do Turtle Rock. And Swamp gives you silver arrows, and Turtle Rock goes and just, throws a tempered sword at you just to give you a little bit more insurance.
Yeah, I was not looking like the ice rod was not what I was looking for first. I was dreading getting into go mode with Master Sword Silverless.
And we noticed that you never checked Zora. Neither of you did. We're getting a look on your credits. A good return for sales. That was one of the 300 ruby secrets. Decent ROI.
Oh, yeah. I typically, even though I had the 500 and I kind of farmed for it a tiny bit, I just never go up there if I don't have Moon Pearl yet. And the journey to Moon Pearl kind of wound up being a whole thing.
Yeah, that Moon Pearl was a very interesting check. Also, just for the sake of confirmation, we do have a bit of lag. So can you tell chat for the record what item you got via big chat, the big key for Ganon's Tower?
Oh, so 1, 2 on the right side, 3 was torch, and then 4, and then 5. I think no, it was 4 because I picked up another one. I was going to go through that whole room, but then I was like, nope, no, go upstairs.
All right, so chest 4, and that means Eldarian 322 gets the credit for this race. Overall, though, there was that thing with the King of Samaria. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was like I wanted to put off. I recall accidentally going to Dragon's Tower a little early because I forgot that I had Fighter's Sword. I don't know. By that point in the game, by like an hour in, you expect to have something better than Fighter's Sword, right?
Yeah, and the Master Sword. You picked up your Master Sword. Trying to remember exactly where you picked it up.
It was in
Paradox Cave.
Right, Paradox Cave. Dustsen actually picked up his sword. He's on Gold Sword. The one you missed was in the purple lunchbox.
Oh. Yeah, I just didn't want to do that trip. I knew that Mirror has to show up eventually. And so if Mirror has to show eventually, why bother doing that until the last possible thing, I guess. But yeah, that's also, I put off that Cane of Samaria as long as possible, and I guess that wasn't a required double dip of Mire. But it might have actually been faster to just go into Mire. If the other sword was actually on purple chest, then genuinely it might have just been faster to go into Mire.
Well, I mean, there were two ways you could have gotten your Master Sword. You could have gotten it either as you did through Paradox Cave, double dip, or purple chest. What really set Dustsen behind, you guys were pretty close, but he took 2 deaths to Vitreous, and that really set him back.
Ooh. Yeah, that's another thing that I was not looking forward to at all. This was it was a weak seed. I guess I only ended with 10 hearts.
It was not a lot of other stuff going on.
No, I took that fight stupidly careful, but I really, really wanted to take that fight stupidly careful because that's one of those boss fights that I just don't want to go back to.
Oh, absolutely. Especially you didn't have much equipment to speak of, just at all for most of the seed until everything came at the last second. Dustsen, by the way, has just cleared Moldorm 2, so he'll be on his way to Aga 2.
Oh. All right. Well.
Also, the super early boots, how'd that feel?
Okay, so my pre-tournament race ritual is to have a cup of coffee leading up to the start of the race, and then have another cup of coffee during the first portion of the race. And at this point I'm a little bit twitchy and trying to get those boots executions down properly did not always work correctly for me, I think. It's always a scary thing having boots right at the get-go, because you know your opponent has boots right at the get-go as well, and so if they execute boots better than you, then you're kind of in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, boots is such. You don't think about it, but there's so much time you can just lose and gain on movement. And the Dustsen is going into his Ganon fight right about now with the gold sword, gold sword and silver arrows. I don't think he ever. Oh yeah, he must have picked up red mail at some point. I don't remember exactly where. I think Myershed.
Yeah, I believe Myershed had the red mail.
Also, he should have a fairy in a bottle, the same one that you picked up in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that was. I forgot to mark that off for a while, so I forgot I had it. So.
But yeah, so that brings you to 2-0, puts you in a pretty good position to make it to the knockout rounds. Is there anyone you are hoping to make sure you don't face coming up next coming week? I suppose that's a low question. Is there anyone you do want to face this coming week?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm not. Literally my only goal for this tournament is to make it to the bracket stages. I would love to make it to the bracket stages. That's kind of my intention.
Well, you certainly have a good start, as Dustsen has slain the beast with the silver arrows. Got a double to start, but couldn't get the second. Still will be finishing sub 152. And we'll be seeing if we can get him in here shortly to talk a little bit about the seed. But yeah, only 150 out of 216 collection rate. That's definitely on the lower end.
Yeah, I mean, didn't really have to go much through Ganon's salary, so that probably helped.
And how'd you feel about not having to dip into a Pendant Ice Palace?
Yeah, Pendant Ice Palace, it's never somewhere you want to go, but you would be very shocked how often you have to go and get 1 or 2 or even 3 just absolutely critical items from it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was putting off both despite having those boots and the mirror, I was putting off those places as long as I possibly could, which is why, went back to Meyer first, despite only having Master Sword.
Well, it ended up working out for you.
Yeah.
Oh yes, everyone, make sure you get your GGs in chat for Dustsen with a unofficial time of 151.23. Still very good for this seed.
Yeah, that was not easy at all. It's like I guess you're acutely aware of only having 1 row of hearts for the entire game. Even with red mail, you just don't want to face tank things.
And so we're going to see if we can get Dustsen in here for a quick interview. But anything else you want to say about what we saw tonight, Link-a-Lot?
No, I guess I just kind of like we're seeing on the restream right now, the mushroom for the Titansmiths. That was fun to see.
Oh yeah, that was weird. Also, that was a great death in Thieves Town. It was just
that was definitely a death to take in Thieves Town.
I don't know why I did that. That was I'm not gonna do that again. Or maybe I will, who knows?
Who knows? In any case, while we wait for everything else, I would like to give a huge shout out to everyone here. Make sure to follow our runners, Fantallis and dustsen, on Twitch, as well as make sure to give our backstage crew a lot of love. We have DataPlet01, who has been our tracker tonight, and Fiesel on the restream. And that ding means we do have a dustsen here in chat.
Good evening.
So walk us through that seed. How are you feeling about some of these, how these went down?
Execution, holy moly, that was terrible. Just terrible. Dying to blind with a potion. That fight is usually, you do it blind, right?
Yeah, it's definitely...
And then after that was kinda, a downfall for me.
Vitreous 10 seemed like it really unwound you a bit.
Yeah.
But in any case, that drops you to 1-1, still very much alive in the tournament. How are you feeling for this coming week?
I'm feeling pretty good, actually. Last time I had a good execution, bad routing. This time my routing was, in my opinion, pretty well. But the execution lacked, I don't know, I died too many times. I had to do safety deaths or, took intentional deaths to get my health a little bit back before Virtues, for example. So now I need to combine both, and I will be fine.
And you'll be fine. Linkalot, you have anything you would like to say to Dust before we get ready to close this out?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with the routing. You definitely had good routing because, going for the purple chest and you found Master Sword, which allowed you, and then you made the Aga play right away to grab the Cane of Samaria from the Lumberjack ledge. It allowed you to go in, we had the problem, or you had the problems with Vitreous, but it did allow you to not have to double dip into Mire, since the hook shot would have led you to your second sword upgrade had you not found that.
Yeah, as I said, routing-wise it was good, but the execution and Virtuous, I don't know how that happened. I didn't see the ball coming through me or at me at the time when I died. So that was kinda bad. I wasted too much time there in Maya. Still, even a double dip would, I think, be faster than what I did.
Well, you'll have a couple days to practice, get better, and get ready for your week 3 match. Good luck to you then, and good luck to you as well, Fantallis.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, and GG again.
Yeah, GG to you. Good luck.
So, looking on our randomizer schedule, we have a race on Speed Gaming 2 that kicks off in just a minute, as well as an 11:59 race with Crazy Sunshine and UTC +9 Dave. Big John will be on the call for the midnight match. Sunday is the last day of the round 2 race week, and we have several matches starting at 10 a.m. with 3 going live. We've got them running pretty much every hour on the hour, including a 9 p.m. rematch. Crimson Avix and Nakanashi, they had a tie on Friday, so they'll be going at it once again. And we will be having every match for the rest of round 2 and getting the pairing set for round 3. That'll be starting on Monday. So, Linkalot, anything you'd like to say to put this to bed?
I just want to, give a shout out to both the runners. Definitely give both of them a follow. Thank you for co-commentating with me. Thank you to Fiesel for the restream, and thank you to DataPlet for tracking for us tonight.
All right, I think that's going to do it. From everyone here at the Speed Gaming Family Networks, we will see you next time.